All right. Hello, Internet. Hello, Internet. This is absolutely my first ever live stream on YouTube. So thanks for joining me. I'm Cora Boyd. I'm like, okay, should I look there or look there? I'm going to look at myself because that's what feels better. And we'll look at the hang of this as we go. So, the topic of today's live, we are going to be doing a EFT tapping session around confidence. So we are going to be releasing self-doubt, releasing social comparison, and really tuning into building an upward spiral of self-confidence. So if you're not familiar with EFT, it's about time you get familiar with it. There's a description below in the description about what exactly EFT is, but this is one of my absolute favorite tools. Oh my God, a human. Hi, a human's watching. Say hey in the chat. EFT is one of my absolute favorite tools. It has changed my life. It stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique. And this is a way that we can move feelings and release unhelpful thoughts, feelings we want to get moving and on their way, and also tap into affirmations and beliefs that we want to strengthen. And the way that it works is that essentially we're tapping on different acupressure points. So these are energetic meridian points in the body. And this calms the nervous system and kind of releases our reactivity to the sentiment that we are tapping around. So there's tons of research around this. I highly recommend looking this up. It's all scientifically based. There's one study that I found really valuable of a group of veterans who had severe PTSD, and all of them started using EFT tapping. And after a month of regular tapping, they did not even qualify for PTSD anymore, which is crazy. So if you're new to this, like, welcome to having this in your arsenal. Your life's about to get a lot better. And if you use EFT all the time, I hope that you will come back to this video anytime you are feeling self-doubt, anytime you are in kind of a loop of social comparison, and anytime you want to tap into more confidence, more self-confidence. Okay, so these are the points. You're just going to be following along with me. We're going to start here at the karate chop point. You're going to be following along, tapping where I tap. Hi, another human. And repeating, basically mumbling, murmuring along with what I say. Top of the head, the crown is the next spot. Then it's going to be over the eyebrow. So I'm curious if you guys want to type into the chat if you've done EFT tapping before, if you've heard of it, or if this is your first time. On top of the eyebrow is the next spot. And then on the temple, under the eye, we're just using a couple fingers, the pads of our fingers, to tap, 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 tap. And we're using these acupressure points to calm our nervous system. Under the nose, on the chin, breathing deeply. Under the collarbone, next to the ribs, plural. And those are the points. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Relax. This is going to be about 15 minutes. So show up for this. Sit back. Let me take the lead. We're going to do our setup statements, tapping on the karate chop point. Repeating after me. Even though I am feeling a tremendous amount of self-doubt, I choose to unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Even though I have been in looping thought patterns, questioning myself, my ability, my worthiness, my success, I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And even though I have been looking at other people on social media, my friends, people on the street, and comparing where they are to where I currently am as a way to make myself feel bad and like I'm not being enough, not doing enough, even though I have been looking through this lens of social comparison. And I've been feeling really bad about it. I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Now tapping at the top of the head. Deep breaths. Even though I've been feeding energy to self-doubting thoughts, and even though I've been focusing on fear and anxiety, and it's really been stalling my progress over the eyebrow. It's really been stalling momentum in my life, on the temple. And because I've been stalling and haven't been feeling a ton of momentum, that has been adding to the self-doubt, to the self-criticism. Even though I've been stuck in this loop, I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Under the eye. Letting a little relief start to come in as the energy moves. Even though I've been looking at my peers, looking at my friends, looking at strangers on the internet, and making assumptions about where they are, what they've accomplished, and making up stories under the nose that they're so much farther along than me, that they're doing so much better than me, that they have it all figured out way more than me on the chin, that everyone else seems to have this being a human shit figured out, and I'm just over here flailing around, not even being on my own team with all these self-doubting thoughts. Even though that has been my experience in the last few weeks, I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. Under the collarbone. And I choose to release any shame, any self-blame associated with this experience. On the ribs. I'm releasing this shame on the cellular level. I'm releasing this shame and this self-blame from my body on top of the head. And I am releasing this shame and self-blame from my thoughts. And I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. I am choosing to remember that confidence doesn't come from an utter lack of doubting thoughts doesn't mean that I never fall into the trap of social comparison. Because if that were the case, I'd just not be human. It's a pretty human experience, especially when I'm growing, especially when I'm venturing into new territory, if I'm trying out new things, to feel some uncertainty. And whenever we feel uncertainty, whenever we don't know, that's when the critical voice gets really loud. So it's actually very natural. It's actually very human to feel this way. It's actually something we all share in common, no matter what it looks like from the outside. We all feel these feelings sometimes. We all think these thoughts sometimes. And confidence actually comes from trust with myself, integrity with myself. And being in integrity and trust with myself means accepting all of me. And I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. I choose to remember that the most confident people are not the people who never ever experience self-doubt, imposter syndrome, social comparison, but the people who are able to recognize these feelings as not the inherent truth, to shift out of these feelings faster through accepting them and reducing resistance to them. And not compounding it, not compounding the doubt by making themselves wrong for feeling these feelings or thinking these thoughts sometimes. In fact, if confidence is really about my self-perception, about my integrity with myself, my trust with myself, the fact that I'm being honest with myself about these feelings and these thoughts right now, and the fact that I am perceiving myself showing up to do something nice for myself in this tapping practice is already growing my confidence, is already growing my self-esteem right now. And I choose to unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. I choose to acknowledge that if I can doubt myself, I can also believe in myself. And that if I can show up for myself in small ways like this, that I can trust and show up for myself in any way, shape, or form. And I choose to feel confident. I choose to feel self-trust. I choose to be honest with myself. I choose to be in integrity with myself. And I choose to unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. I choose to know that I'm growing confidence every day. I choose to know that I can come back to this practice anytime I want. And I choose to know that I have power over the narrative I tell myself about me. And I choose to tell a confident story to myself about me. And I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. I am confident, I am clear, and I unconditionally love, honor, and accept myself. Mm. Feeling a little bit of that kind of buzzy energy with after all that energy moved, got some density out. Oh, that felt good. All right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for doing that for yourself. Come back to this practice anytime you want to clear some of that self doubting, dense energy and shift back into the reality that you can trust yourself. You can do it. You're confident. I believe in you, and you get to believe in you too. All right. Goodbye. See you next time. Like and subscribe.